welcome to our Get Real series. This series we are going to be getting real about a topic that matters the most to young people, relationships. And to help us do that, we have got a panel of expert youth workers to lead us through that.
So I'm going to introduce you to some of the guys that have joined us. This is Dan on the far end. Dan is currently single. Ladies. This is Jack as well. Jack and Jess are currently dating. They've been going out for a year, so this is Jess here. This is Rebs. Rebs is currently engaged and going to be getting married in a few months' time. My name is Laura and this is Andy, and we have been married for 7 whole years.
Yeah, we have.
It's very exciting. So we're going to be talking to you guys about relationships. Now we're aware that if you're watching this, you may not actually be a Christian. We are all Christians, and so some of what we're going to be saying is from a Christian perspective, really. But if you don't know Jesus, if you wouldn't consider yourself a Christian, it might be that you look at some of this stuff that we're saying and some of the stuff we're thinking through, and some of it you may not think applies to you, but quite a lot of it I believe will, because all truth is God's truth, and God designed us for relationship, and so a lot of his truth will be true whether you follow Jesus or not.
That's brilliant. And each week we are going to open a different topic, and this week's topic is attraction. We're going to be talking about how you figure out who you fancy, how you start going out with them, but before we even do that, we want to talk about being single, because it's really important. It's a really big deal, and we think there's real value in being single. And Dan, as our only member of the panel that is single, why don't you talk to us about what are the benefits of being single?
Yeah, there are actually benefits and advantages of being single. I mean, I've actually been on quite a journey with this, and it's taken time for me to realise that there are benefits and advantages of being single. But one of them is that there's a lot of freedom in being single. You know, I could, if I feel like there's somewhere I need to go, say, if one day I wanted to move or anything like that, I could just up and go. There's no commitment. There's no commitment to where I am. Or say if someone was in school, there's no commitment if you're moving schools or anything there. And you don't feel like you're tied down. But that's not to say that being in relationships, you are tied down and you've got no freedom and you can't go anywhere. You know, relationships, if they're healthy and if you're with the right person, they're absolutely great. But so there's a lot of freedom in being single, and also I'm learning a lot about myself as I'm single. You know, I'm learning about who I am, what my giftings are, more about my character, and I'm developing myself. You know, so as I progress through life, I find that actually I'm becoming a better version of myself. And one day I will be looking for someone. I don't want to stay single all of my life, and one day I will look for somebody. And I want to find that perfect person, but I want that perfect person to see me as the perfect person for them. So I want to become the person who I am looking for is looking for. If that makes sense.
It's a really good time.
Right.
Yeah, I think also one of the benefits about being single is definitely for me a few years back when I wasn't in a relationship was I got to travel loads. So I moved around to different cities. I've travelled all over the UK, and I've been all around, which was great because, like you were saying, I didn't have that commitment to someone in one place. I just had the freedom to go about and do whatever I wanted, which was great for that time. And I got to do a lot of dancing. I got to really explore what my gifts were, so I definitely think that freedom aspect is really great.
Yeah, it's good.
Brilliant. So if being single is so great, then why do you think so many people struggle with being single?
Yeah, I think people struggle with it because of the way that the media portrays relationships. It's always in the movies, it's in every single song that is out there. It's all about relationships. You need to be with someone, you need to be getting with someone, you need to be talking to someone, and all that kind of stuff. And I think actually that can put a really unhealthy pressure on people who are single and who aren't in a relationship, which isn't always necessarily great. And actually being single and having that time to work on yourself, I think is fantastic, and actually it's a time where you can really invest in you. You don't have to really think about someone else in that much depth. You can really kind of focus on you, what you want to do, and stuff like that. And I think, like I say, it's just the media just puts so much pressure on people, which I think is really unfair and really unnecessary.
Yeah, and it's difficult, isn't it? Because I think we talk about being in a relationship like when you find the perfect person, you'll become one and everything will be fine. And there's this impression that when you're single, you're half a person, and that's just not true. When you're single, you are a complete person. Some people are called to singleness for the whole of their lives, and when you get into a relationship, it's two whole people together, not two halves of a person. And actually, if you've not worked on some of the stuff like you've said, what happens is you think that you'll get fixed when you get into this relationship, but what happens is you both bring your baggage and your problems to that relationship, and then you've got two people's baggage to work through. I think it can be really difficult.
It's great, it's so good. You know, I think it's quite difficult in it to define what being single is. Like, when do you stop being single? Like, is it when you realise you like somebody? Is it when you're texting? Is it when you're flirting? How would you define being single, Jess?
I think this is really confusing, and I think the main reason for that would be like what Rebs said, how the media is a massive part to play in that, how we're almost being told to always focus on a relationship or getting that affection from someone, and we don't truly figure out what it looks like to be fully single, to be happy being single. So you might be officially single, but you are still looking out for someone who looks hot, or like you're chatting to people, flirting here and there, still wanting to get that affection from people like you would in a relationship, but without the commitment. And I think then when you're in that place, you're not fully embracing being single, fully embracing the benefits of that, like Dan was saying, and it can feel a lot more like a struggle rather than focusing in on who you are, what you're passionate about, what your character is, and truly embracing being single. Really.
So Jack, tell us about when you started liking Jess. How do you know when you like someone? Like, what's worth, or like giving up your singleness for, I guess?
Yeah, okay, so for me, I really found that we started on a gap year. That's where we met a couple of years ago, and it was really good, and we had no intention of getting with each other. We didn't even really like each other. We knew each other as much as we knew everybody else on that course, and then just over time we gradually got to know each other. We got to become better friends, and that was amazing. And then there just came a day where I was like, something just switched in me. I was like, she's actually quite attractive. And I was like, okay, this is really strange. This is odd. She's my friend. We're really close. We're really good friends, and we've developed that friendship. Yeah. Why am I attracted to her in this way? This is odd. And so, actually, I just ended up taking time praying, thinking about it, and started thinking about actually her characteristics and her personality. Is that something I'm attracted to, or is it just a physical attraction? And the more I thought about it, the more I prayed about it, the more I realised that actually this was something that I could see progressing, and I think if you're looking for somebody, you need to be looking, actually, is this person not just physically attractive, but could I spend the rest of my life with this person? And the more I started praying, the more I started to think about these things, the more I realised, actually, yeah, this is something that I could see progressing in the future, and this is actually, Jess is the kind of person I am looking for if I'm looking to get married someday.
I think that's great advice, what you said there, Jack, about like when you're getting with someone, can you see yourself marrying them? Or, you know, I think some people listening to this might be a bit younger and think, oh my word, marrying, I'm like 10 years away from that. Like maybe think, is this somebody that I would be happy to introduce my parents to? And to become a part of, to get to know my grandparents, and like, it's thinking about those things. And maybe if you are a bit older, thinking, can I see myself marrying this person? Because if you can't see yourself spending the rest of your life with them, you're just wasting each other's time. And I think it's really hard, isn't it, to figure out, how do I know if somebody is the right person? How do I like them, they like me, is this right? And I think it's really important to say, like, just because you both like each other, it doesn't make it right. And it doesn't mean that it's gonna work and it's the right person to go out with. I think I would say there's three things that you need to look for, and they all begin with C. The first one is character. Like, is their character somebody that you want to be with?
Yeah.
Stephen Furtick, who's a guy who leads a church in America, he says someone's potential is in their patterns. Who they're going to become, you can see by what they do every day now. And like, if you look at somebody who you are thinking of going out with, like, are they going to treat you well? Well, you know that by how they treat their friends and how they treat their family. Like, how he behaves with his mum is how he will treat you in 10 years' time.
That's good.
Like, his potential is in his patterns, and often we con ourselves to say, you know, oh, he's got potential to be a great boyfriend, or she's got potential to be a great wife. Look at her patterns, look at his patterns. That's where the potential is. And that's where you discover their character. Like, who are their friends? Because their friends will, as we've said before, like, you know, show me your friends and I will show you your future. Like, who their friends are will show you who they are becoming.
That's right.
Look at their friends, that tells you what their character is like. The second C that I would look for is chemistry. Like, do you get on? Do you like the same things? Now, not liking all the same things, do you know what I mean? You don't have... I love football. Laura is okay with football. Laura loves the Gilmore Girls. I can't stand the Gilmore Girls. But we like the same things, and there's chemistry because we enjoy doing stuff together. Like, if it's just plain awkward, but you fancy each other, it's not going to work because there's no chemistry. You've got to be able to get on and have fun together and have a laugh together. But I think there's also got to be that physical chemistry where you just fancy each other and they walk in a room and think, oh, they're fit. Like, there's got to be that level of chemistry, hasn't there? And then the final thing, the final C, I would say, is calling. Like, are your lives heading in the same direction? Like if you're older, like 17, 18, looking at going to university, like, and you're looking at going to university at one end of the country, and you're looking at getting with someone and they're going to university at the other end of the country, your lives are going in separate directions. Maybe it's not going to work, or maybe, you know, maybe you're someone who calls yourself a Christian and says, I want to follow Jesus, and you fancy somebody, there's chemistry, you think they're great, but they're not trying to live for Jesus. You've got to ask yourself the question, is your life being called in different directions? And I think it's figuring out, are you being called in a similar direction? That's one of the things that, like, was great for me and Laura when we got together, was that we could see that our callings and our life direction was heading in a similar way. And we looked at each other's lives, there was chemistry there was character there, and we both went, man, we could really, like, do some stuff together because our lives are being called in the same direction. I think just to finish, girls, it'd be really great to hear, like, from a girl's point of view, what is the best way that a boy can tell you that he likes you?
I need this.
I think for me, it's really important that guys don't play games. And equally, actually, if you're a girl, don't play games with guys. I think if a guy likes you or you like someone, I mean, a lot will depend on the person's personality, but I think it's a safe rule to say, if you like someone, don't be flirting with other people and messing them around. Don't be leading them on when you're not interested. If you're flirting with someone, flirt with them because you're interested in them and you want their attention, not because you want to feel better about yourself. I think just being really clear. I think on the flip side of that, equally, if someone's flirting with you, I think don't flirt back if you're not interested. It's just not helpful.
Really
I think taking out anything that's confusing in terms of signals, it just messes with people's brains. It's selfish. It makes you feel good. It messes them up. So I think my top tip, really, if you think you like someone, particularly guys and girls, just be straight. Like, not intense and weird. Don't like, you know, turn up looking through their bedroom window. That's creepy. But
Dan, don't do that.
but just be straight about how you feel and don't mess around. I think.
Yeah, I think I'd say really similar. I think the main thing was being honest. Like, Jack was really honest, just really straightforward. This is how it is. But at the same time, not pressurising, not making it really intense, but just kind of, this is how I feel, and giving us time to process that and kind of answer in a helpful way rather than slamming people down.
Yeah, I think the honesty aspect is huge. With me, Matt, my fiance, we both fancied each other for ages, but we didn't realise that we liked each other because neither one of us would say, "I really like you." So I think like just come out with it. Just say, "I like you. This is how I feel." I think honesty with your feelings as well can be really important and valuable within the relationship.
The one other thing I would say, just came to me, would be about make the relationship. If you want to get with someone, make the relationship about you and them, not about your friends and their friends. So don't tell all of your friends you like them, but not them, and don't tell all of her friends that you like them, but not like. Just deal with it between. If you can't have that conversation with them, you shouldn't be going out with them. It's not about all of you. It's just about the two of you.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us in this session of Get Real. We are going to be getting real next session, and we're going to talk about making it work and how we make relationships work.